Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. If you're new, I'm Jessica. I would love for you to click that little red button down there and subscribe if you like crafty things. We do lots of journaling here, handmade journals, we do lots of paper crafting, and I love exploring new and fun crafts that I've never done before. Today we are going to do a video that I've been wanting to do for a while, and you guys have been loving this style where I show you 5 different ways how to use a certain craft item, and today is going to be wallpaper. So I'm going to show you 5 different ways that you can use wallpaper specifically in your journals. Of course, you can always take these ideas and use them however you want. That's just how I am intending for these ideas to be all about journaling. So we have a few things here, and I am going to get started and show you how to make a quick little wallpaper journal. So this is one that I made a little while ago, and it's just a simple little journal, but for some reason the texture of wallpaper is just perfect for journaling. So I'm going to move all of these other little fun ideas away. And one more thing, if you're curious where you can get wallpaper, well, I got a bunch of these wallpaper books actually from a paint shop, and they were free. I went and just asked if they had any older expired wallpaper books that they wanted to get rid of, and I got so many. I'll actually leave a video below so you can see how many I got, but don't worry, if you don't have a paint store around you, you can always buy wallpaper on Etsy. Tim Holtz also makes wallpaper packs, and they're just these smaller ones, which we will use some of these in the video as well to show you that they are just as great. But I'm gonna get started by using actually one of the pieces from my wallpaper book. So we're gonna start by taking a piece that we want to work with for a cover. I also want to have you keep this in mind, that these are all really basic ideas. So you definitely, if you've been on my channel for a while, have seen me make a lot of the things we're going to make in today's video, but still, this is just one place that you can come to get, you know, 5 different ideas if you're kind of stuck on how to use wallpaper. So I hope that you guys like that they are basic. I'm going to use this as a template for the size that I want, and this is 8 inches by 6 inches. So when we fold it in half, I feel like it's going to be just the perfect little size for a purse. And so I'm going to just put the template where I want, and I'm keeping in mind which part of this wallpaper will be the front cover. So I'm going to line it up right about here. Yeah, so wallpaper is just great for journal covers because of the texture. It's very durable, and it just works so well for a journal cover. See, I kind of held off on these videos for a while because I feel like I've made so many videos doing these things, or I've definitely even made videos just showing you specifically and only how to make a wallpaper journal. But you guys just really liked the other videos, and all of those ideas were basic as well. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. So now that we have that cut down to size, the rest is honestly simple. We're just going to fold it in half. I will say the reason why I love using genuine wallpaper is because I specifically love all of the writing inside. I'm not sure why, but on the Tim Holtz pages, they're just blank, and I'm gonna guess these are maybe copies of wallpaper, but they're still a really great texture. So, so we have it folded in half here, and now the rest of what we need to do is basically just pick some pages to go inside. And I'm gonna keep it really simple to make this kind of like a writing journal. And so I'm gonna pick like maybe 1 page of coffee dyed paper, and then maybe 2 of my watercolor dyed paper, which I also made videos on recently, how to make all of these. You can add fun things like envelopes and little bags in these journals as well. But I'm just going to go ahead to skip this part and just cut down all my pages to be the same size or smaller than the cover. So once you have all of the pages that you want, I did end up adding like a little bag and a glassine bag, but we're just going to kind of do the overview here, and if you do want a more in-depth journal tutorial, I will try to find one of my recent ones and link it below. I have a little strip of paper that I am going to glue that will go all the way across the inside cover to make a pocket on each side, the front and back cover, and I cut out a little kind of half circle here, so there's a little notch. And I'm just going to glue this on. So I'm going to put glue on the sides and bottom. Now if you want, absolutely, you can use a sewing machine You can add lots of lace or decorate, have fun. I'm just gonna show you the kind of basic version. Well, hello, kitty. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just put that, make sure this is the bottom of your cover. I wanna do this first, just so this is in place. And then we're gonna go ahead and sew our pages in here. And to do that, you can use either an awl if you have one, but if you are maybe a beginner, you don't have one, you can use just like a tack or something that can poke a hole. You're going to need a needle and then any kind of thread that you want. And so for this, I'm also gonna take some binding thread here, but again, you can use any kind of thread. And I am going to measure just like 2.5 times the length or the height of the journal, just to have plenty. We're gonna go ahead and put this on our needle. And for such a simple journal, I don't actually measure anything. I'm just going to go ahead and take my pages, make sure everything is nice and tidy. Just go ahead and make sure to put it in the very center of your journal. I am going to use 2 paper clips to just go ahead and hold everything together so that we can open this up right in the middle. So I'm going to put a paper clip on one side and then I'm going to put this on the other and just make sure that everything is good to go. I'm not measuring this, I'm just going to poke a hole in the center here. Just do one swift move so that it goes through all of your pieces, and you should end up in the center of your wallpaper. And then we're going to do that same thing about 1 inch or so from the bottom and 1 inch or so from the top. What I find that helps me to make sure that I punch this all the way through the center and so that it doesn't like go out the front or the back, because that can happen, is when I'm punching the all through is I'm also kind of holding my journal at a V like this, because that really helps to ensure that you're actually going to go through the center here all the way through. And so I'm putting pressure on my awl, but then I'm also kind of pulling up just a tad on the journal, because that just, I find that it really helps make it, keeps it centered. So now that we have that, this is super quick. We're going to take our thread and needle. We're going to just sew this out the center. We're going to pull that through, leaving like a little tail on the inside. I just hold it. It's not going to pull through if you're careful. And then you're going to go up to the top hole. You're going to sew into this one. And then you're going to make sure that comes through, pull it tight, not too tight to pull it through. And then we're going to go down to the bottom hole. And then we are almost done here. Just pull that all the way through. Make sure you don't pull it off the needle. And then we're going to go ahead and just go back in through the center. Just take your time to make sure that it just goes right through. I might need a little bit more thread, and I accidentally just took my needle off, but that's okay. So if you need to just pull a bit more. So if you want, you can always, you know, take more thread than you need so you don't run into this problem, but it's not a big deal. You can just, I definitely have enough, I just didn't pull enough through. So then we're going to rethread that. There we go. And now we can go back in through the center. There we go. And now we want to make sure that our 2 ends are on opposite sides of that middle thread. So we have one over here, one over here. Then just go ahead, tie this off, and your journal is complete. You can absolutely finish it off with some pretty lace to go around and hold it closed if you want, like this one right here. I usually just add some little pretty lace or, you know, kind of silk ribbon to go around. I love adding lace. You can have so much fun with these little journals, and then you have yourself a little wallpaper journal. Number 2 is a wallpaper tag. So this is more of a wallpaper collage tag, but I'm going to show you an even simpler tag, and I'm going to use the Tim Holtz wallpaper for this one. I'm using this tag as a template just to make it quick since I'm filming, but you can honestly just cut out a rectangle shape, whatever you want, and then kind of angle the corners. But again, I'm just going to do this quickly. I mean, this is so quick, but Again, wallpaper is so great for tags because it's durable. You can add embellishments on top, you can write on the back of them, and the texture is just really fun. You can emboss these, you could do all kinds of fun things. So, you know, we have a tag here, but I'll take this other wallpaper and I'm just gonna cut out like 2 of these little rose bundles here, just as kind of an embellishment, but to keep with the wallpaper theme. I'm just gonna kind of not fussy cut this, not get too close to the edges, but just kind of cut close enough that it looks like kind of an embellishment. And I feel like this would look even better with 2, so. Yeah. And yeah, wallpaper is really fun to collage with, so if you have lots of scraps, that's just another fun way to create a tag. So we're just gonna use some glue here. Let's see, we could do it. We'll just put these kind of up to the side here. I'm just gonna kind of slightly overlap them. Sort of like that. And then you can finish this off however you like. I'm gonna go ahead and take my crocodile here, if I can open this. And we're gonna put a little eyelet at the top, but you can always just punch a hole if you don't have one of these. This is just, you know, to give it that extra little pizzazz, just because that's fun to do. Maybe I'll go ahead and mark, I always just guess where the center is, but hey, for once I'll just go ahead and actually make it centered. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and use one of these big blue eyelets. These are from We Are Memory Keepers, I believe. I don't know, there's definitely other brands of eyelets. In fact, I should try to find some on Amazon because they can add up for sure when you get the We Are Memory Keepers brand. Okay, I'm just going to use some seam binding, and I'm actually just gonna put it through the center, and then I'm gonna tie a little bow. This is not how I usually this is not usually what I do with tags, is what I'm trying to say, but I think this is kind of a pretty way to top it off. There we go, and if you want to color your seam binding, I also have a video for that. So here is our really cute little wallpaper tag, super quick project, and we're gonna go on to number 3. That's a wallpaper pocket. This is one example. I love making little wallpaper pockets, again, simple projects where you can go ahead and put a tag or whatever you want in it. And I honestly love just using a ruler to have raw edges, like so. If you're actually going to be putting a tag in it, just make sure it's wide enough, which this one is. And I love, again, keeping the writing on, but you can do whatever you would like. I'm just gonna fold up like an inch like this, and I'm gonna show you one other way to make this little kind of wallpaper tag holder pocket, whatever you want to call it, really. But I'm gonna go ahead and just add a tiny bit of glue on each side. You could also use staples or sewing, however you like to do that best. In fact, just again, for the sake of the video, I'm gonna use a couple little staples, and I love using staples anyways, so this is probably something that I would do in real life anyways. And then I want to go ahead, and I want this big enough for the tag, but I just want it slightly bigger, so I'm gonna just measure. I'm just measuring kind of like this, let's see, to fit my needs, but you can make yours whatever size you want. So again, you can clean this up and, you know, make it a little bit neater, but you get the idea. So there we go, like that. But I also like doing the other orientation, I guess you would call it, which is to have it a little bit wider. Let me see here. So you'll want to take, I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. There we go, yep, just like this. So this one, and again, I'm so sorry if you are kind of looking for measurements, but I just typically don't do measurements because it's easier, I feel, to make these things to suit the needs of whatever it is you're making. But anyways, for this one, instead of folding up, we're folding to the side. And again, we can kind of clean up this edge just a tad or keep it. I'll just keep it for right now. And then we're gonna staple the bottom and top, or glue or sew. And then you have a side pocket, and it's just a bit of a different look. And then you can have your tag go in here, or again, whatever it is you want. So it's just more of a side pocket like that. The fourth idea is to use your wallpaper scraps, or you can just use full wallpaper and cut it down to create the base for a little layered embellishment. So on this embellishment, just the back is the wallpaper, but we're gonna make a couple that have more wallpaper layers than that one. So I'm just gonna take a few scraps that I've just been using right here. And for these little embellishments, I like to start with a base. So I'm actually just gonna use this scrap right here. Sometimes wallpaper is really hard to show on camera because it's so shiny, but we're gonna use this little piece right here. And then I'm gonna layer on just a couple other colors. And I do like to tear, but you can do whatever you like best. I'm gonna take some ink. Again, I'm just showing you the base, but you can decorate however you want. I'm using the Pine Needles ink for this one. And I'm just going to ink up the edges just to give a little bit more dimension. Yep, that looks good. Very cute. Okay, we're going to do that. And let's see. A lot of wallpaper has, a lot of wallpaper has, you know, pretty little images, like lots of florals, of course, but it also will depend on what kind of wallpaper you like. I personally love floral, so I have lots of florals, and I'm just going to tear around this flower. See, we've already used this little flower bundle in one of our projects, and so now I'm going to also ink up those edges. And honestly, yes, this is looking great. I'm going to use a little bit of seam binding just for a little bit more texture. You can go ahead and layer on, I can't find my scissors. You can go ahead and layer on, you know, all kinds of different things that you have in your stash, but just to keep this project mostly wallpaper, I'm just gonna go ahead and keep this here, I think. And I'm gonna go ahead, oh, I think I'll use glue for the main part here, like that, and that will hold down our ribbon. But I might use a bit of a staple too. So I'm just gonna go one up here, one down here, and I think this looks awesome. But you can finish this off with maybe like a little label or anything else that you want, but that is super fun. So if you have lots of wallpaper scraps, I definitely recommend trying this little project. I mean, it's crazy to think that this is all mostly wallpaper right here. Super fun. I definitely want to make more of those now that I did it, because I'm usually using other elements in my little snippets, or whatever you want to call it, embellishments, but I really love that one. Number 5 is going to be a wallpaper envelope. This is one I made in a previous video, and as you can see, it's more of an expanded envelope, but I've made this so many times that I'll leave a link for that. Oh my gosh, there's gonna be so many links. I don't usually do that in my videos, so if you're new here, sorry, I swear I don't usually do that. But we're gonna take, again, one of the Tim Holtz wallpapers. It's just convenient because it's already a small size, but we're gonna just make more of a basic envelope. And again, no measuring. That's what I love about this. We're gonna fold up, leaving about a little over an inch, like that. And then we're gonna fold this flap down like that. And then for the envelope part, all we're gonna do is glue these sides. And again, you can glue here, or you can sew. Sewing looks really great on these envelopes, and it looks like you have put a lot of time into it. So if you have a sewing machine, I highly recommend. I never have any issues sewing on wallpaper. I'm also going to take my little circle punch. This is a scalloped 1.5 inch circle punch, and I'm going to punch out like a half circle right around the middle of that top flap. Then we're just going to fold this down. Just make sure our glue attaches really well. And then you have a really basic little envelope here. Now, I love adding something so that the flap can kind of tuck underneath. And again, with these Tim Holtz wallpapers, they actually come with some little florals like this. And so I love using these. And what I do for this part is you can either glue it on the top flap, and you can put a little piece of Velcro. I got these tiny little Velcro dots from Amazon. They're teeny tiny, like the thinnest things ever. Or you can just go ahead and glue the bottom half down. So I'm just gonna add glue like on the bottom half since this is bigger. And then I'm going to make sure that the glue is only touching the bottom part. I'm gonna pull that down just a bit actually, and you just want this top part to be holding the flap down just the tiniest bit. So once that dries, that'll actually hold it in place. So we're gonna do that right there. I do actually, I do prefer the Velcro option better, but this still absolutely works. And then you have just a cute little basic envelope that will look cute in any journal. So that was 5 projects with wallpapers. With wallpaper, we have the wallpaper journal, we have the wallpaper tag, we have the wallpaper tag pocket, we have embellishments or layered snippets, whatever you want to call it, and then we have the wallpaper envelopes. So these were all really fun projects, and I hope that they inspired you. If you want one bonus idea, my idea would be to use all of your scraps to create one collage on a page in your journal. I'm not actually going to do it with you right now, but that is a little challenge for you guys. You can take all the little pieces and just glue them all over a page, so you'll get something kind of like this, like I did on a tag, but it would look great on a page as well. So let me know down below what was your favorite idea, and if you have any other ideas or tips that you would like to share, I would love to hear from you. So leave me a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys, have a lovely day.